Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am JayLee. This is JLeesCorner. Y'all know it's watch day, so leave my hair alone. This is my review for Put a Ring on in season 1, episode 3. If I'm a little bit late because it came on Friday, y'all gonna get this on Sunday, but that's not the point. If you have not done so already, please come over to subscribe to my channel and become a whole JayBird, dun 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 dun, and all that goodness and stuff. Okay. Do not forget to like this video, comment in the comment section, share it on your social media and all that stuff. Do not forget to also breathe it on out, to inhale and to exhale, to relax and to relate and to release, to center yourself and anyone around you, okay? You can also follow me on IG and on Twitter at J_Lees_Corner. Boom, got it all done and whatnot. It's been great weather. You know, it's been in the 70s here in Michigan. I mean, I know it's going to go down to the 50s like on Wednesday and Thursday, but again, it's been good. But it's been a good couple days. Biden Harris 2020. Anyway, so we meet the new couple because we know Mimi and Ulysses, whatever that man's name was, they left last week. So we meet the new couple. Okay, it's Tamika and Vince. They have been dating for 2 years, okay? 2 whole years. Now, they both say how much they are in love with each other, okay? Very much so in love. My soulmate, my lover, my friend, my everything and everything. However, Tamika is a bit jealous. Or should we say, very jealous. But she has a reason. Okay, she said when they first started dating in the beginning, okay, he was dating other women, but he was telling her he was not dating other women. So he was a whole liar in the beginning, okay? So she brings up like we was dating or whatever, and then whoever this other girl who he was dealing with ended up contacting Tamika, okay, was DMing and texting and whatever and sending her information about her Vince or whatever. So he say, look, you know, the other girl, I never lied to her, okay? She knew about Tamika, okay? I'm saying she knew, like, she had seen us together, whatever. She had all that information. She was only really upset because I was leaving her for Tamika, and these lingering feelings about stuff is what was happening or whatever. Anywhere go, now they have trust issues, okay? They have trust issues. So we have that. So this week, all the couples will be going on dates, okay? It's not just the men going on dates or the women are going on dates. Everyone gonna be dating up in this house of foolishness or whatever. So Dr. Nicole also brings up how, you know, in relationships, people usually or sometimes will lose themselves in said relationship. So this week, I want you all to work on being your fully authentic selves on these dates and at home, okay? Do that to help better yourself, because this whole dating thing, there's a point to it or whatnot. Okay, cool. So we then see Ashley and Hollywood in the car chit-chatting on the way home, having a heated discussion, mainly because the argument they had, you know, at the session or whatever, where he will always say, I don't need this. And say, we can end it right here. He always like breaking up or saying he don't care and saying that it can be over right now. And she like, you know, him doing that does not make me feel like we're stable, okay? It does not make me feel secure in our relationship if he consistently gets upset and then will say, you know, well, let's just end things right now. That's his go-to mechanism of, I'm done with the conversation or whatever. And she brings up how you forget how it was embarrassing to me, okay, for you to say that, okay, let's just end it now. You don't care. Like, that is embarrassing to me. You keep doing things in front of people that embarrasses me. I'm like, what is she talking about? We found out later. Anyway, like, well, I'm sorry. I'm saying, I just feel like it's been a long time, saying that you making me wait, you know, saying to be ready. She like, bullshit. First of all, you made me wait 5 whole years. See your finger upon 5 whole years before you even proposed to me. Okay, then 2 years, you know, you was up here pushing me away after you proposed to me, doing whatever it is you wanted to do. Okay, so then you was ready. So, you know, 5 years of waiting to get engaged, and then 2 years after getting engaged of some bullshit, and then all of a sudden you ready. Okay, so technically you only been waiting on me for 2 years. I've been waiting on you for 7. Okay, 7 years waiting on you. Girl, I say she did all the math. Like she broke it down to the 2 plus 2 equals 7. Okay, well 5 plus 2 equals 7. I'm gonna let that be. Anyway, he feel like, well, I know I hurt you, I know it hurts bad, but how long do I have to put up with you not being ready? With you not being over that. I said, the nerve of you, the nerve of you, or whatever. She's like, well, however long it takes, because you still don't even get what you did. I'm saying, I would never be able to have my daddy walk me down. I'm like, oh damn, her daddy died. So I'm assuming maybe they did. Because ain't no other reason to say that. But I'm saying, you just don't get, what you did to me. I'm saying, you don't get that. I'm saying, and then you will say something like, if you want to leave, I get you want to leave me if you can't handle what I'm not over. Okay, like, look, I'm just saying, I'm saying, I'm tired of you telling me, that you not, I'm looking like, he don't even get what she's saying. You made me wait 7 years. You put me through some bullshit. You keep embarrassing me, but you want me to be ready for you because you ready. That ain't how it go. That ain't how it go. He say, fine. I won't ask you no more if you ready. I'll just wait and let you tell me when you are ready. I'm like, you could have did that 2 years ago, bro. You can't hurt someone for 7 years and then expect, because you are then okay with your behavior, that she should be okay with your behavior, your disrespect, you're just ignoring the whole fact that you hurting her. You want her to be over that because you had 7 years to get yourself together, but you forget while you was getting yourself together, you was hurting her. Okay? Anyway, so she do tell him, I need you, to not only not ask me about if I'm ready. I also need consistency of you not telling me all the time how you tired of waiting, or that we can just break up. He said, okay, I can do that. Look, Hollywood, I told her it's some toxic ass energy in that man, and he gets on my nerve or whatever. But we then see that Ashley goes on a date, okay? Her date name was Andre. I said, hey, Andre. Now, Andre right here looks like a real sexy elf. Like if elves grew up and got tall and got handsome, that'd be Andre, okay? I used to work in Santa's workshop back in the day. He's attractive. Anyway, Andre is an artist or whatever, and they're having like a little painting day, and whatnot. And so they both tell each other how they are attractive people, okay? He was like, you are gorgeous. She's like, oh, thank you. And you ain't too bad looking. You looking kind of good with that haircut and that beard. I'm looking like, let him know that he's a handsome young man and whatnot. And it was cute because neither of them said it in like a sexual way. It was like a it's all over your face kind of way. And it was cute. So he like, well, what kind of men do you like? I like gentlemen, who aren't too hard and not too soft and not too much. I like a man who likes to rub feet because I'm a touchy-feely person. So I need somebody like to be okay with that. So he gives her a hand massage, rubbing all over her body. What is her hands? Whatever. He gives her a hand massage. He's looking her in the eyes. It was a good time. It was a good time going on or whatever. And he said, I could massage your shoulders. It was a vibe. It wasn't that overly sexualized, flirtatious that can be like, like he's being touched. It was real, like natural grown man. I'm gonna still show you some attention because I have a vibe that I kind of like with you, whatever. And then so they was both flirting a little bit back and forth or whatnot. And then he brings about his last relationship was a year ago. They dated for 2 years. How it just did not work out. And he said, this is a great experience. And this date was a great experience with you. He said, you seem real cool. It was a real cool adult date, in my opinion, or whatever. And she said he seemed like a man who knows what he wants. And I like it. It's something about a man who know what you want, that makes you like, oh, okay. It's just a easiness to you ain't trying to figure shit out all the damn time. So we then see the ladies got together to talk or whatever. I didn't care that much until we got to Tamika. Really, Shay brings up how you say, well, I want Michael to propose immediately or whatever, and she keep trying to ignore the fact that she ghosted him twice. But Ashley brings it up. But do you think that you ghosting him is the reason that he's hesitant, to get engaged and get married? And I'm like, yes, finally someone said what needed to be said. That would, well, Dr. Nicole said last week too, but I feel like she keeps ignoring that. You ghosted that man twice. Give him time to realize, okay, she's gonna be around for a minute this time, because they dated for a year the first time and then she ghosted him. So at this point in time, they only been together for a year and a half. I'm like, girl, calm down. He gonna need a good 3 years of them being a solid couple before he feels like, okay, she's not leaving this time or whatnot. But Shay feel like, I think he should have told me that he felt some kind of way about me ghosting him. I'm like, no, as an adult woman, you should have known what you did with some fuck shit. And he would have an issue, and you got to get past that point or whatever. And Ashley in her confession was like, look, Shay was wrong. She was wrong, whatever, and she should know that he just needs some time. He don't want to get married right now. And I feel like her pressuring him ain't making it no better. Okay, and then with Tamika, she brings up with Vince how Vince was dealing with this girl, okay, and the fact that he kept lying about it. And at one point the girl was texting her, giving her information about her and Vince. And then supposedly, allegedly, as she say, it was a trip that the girl say he came to visit her in Chicago, but Vince keeps saying it did not happen. But the girl sent her the text conversation of them talking about it, the itinerary of him supposed to be in there, and I guess it was a time to where he was gone somewhere, and he just won't admit that he was still messing with the girl and went on a trip to see the girl and or her family in Chicago. But I feel like this, okay, you have the proof from the girl, you have the itinerary, you have the text or whatever that proves something happened. He keep denying it. You either need to let it go because you stayed with him, or break up with him because he's a liar. I don't get the point of her trying to prove, well, I had a proof right here, but you won't admit to it. Right, but he won't admit it and you won't leave, so what does it matter? If you won't leave because he's still lying, what's the point of him telling the truth? You have given him no reason to be truthful, because when he lie, you still stay. You accept it. That's the difference. Again, if you have the proof in your face, text, itinerary, he was gone at that time, and he no, it wasn't me. I didn't do that. And you stayed, then let it the fuck go. Or leave. Okay? Anyway, we then see Shay and Michael have a little chit chat over there and whatever. She brings up how if he doesn't propose at the end of this process, I know I can find someone else. Well, then you could have been did that, but that's the reason why he don't trust you, because at the drop of a dime, you feel like you can move on to someone else or whatnot. So she tells him, look, within this year, I want to be engaged, and next year I want to get married. He's like, oh, so that's your timeline. Okay, well, I feel like we just got back together a year and a half, but I think we need more time. She's like, but a year and a half, that's a long time already. That's a nice amount of time. How much more time do you need? And he well, I feel like I wish I had a better answer. I think I can have an answer soon, but I don't want to be here next year having this same conversation. I can say that. Meaning, I know by this time next year if I'm ready for marriage or not. We won't be talking about marriage next year. We'll either be engaged or we've been broken up. And so, she said, well, I won't be here next year having this conversation or whatever. He look, but if I'm not here, you wouldn't be getting married next year anyway. Meaning, you can't even move that quick. And that's the issue with me. So, you don't even feel it doesn't seem real, because you just want to rush someone into marriage. And she kind of laughed at him when he said, you can't get married next year. You're not with me. And she, you want me to see, you want to see. And I feel like she missed the point of him saying, if we break up, how would you move so fast to be married by next year. Now people get married quick. Don't no, we not gonna act like that does not happen. But if you love him so much, how are you ready to move on simply because he's saying let's take some more time and make sure that you're gonna be around forever? Okay, anyway, and he said how he don't like that she rushing him. It is what it is. Tamika goes on a date too. Tamika goes on a date with Everson. Everson is handsome in a different way. Something about him seems familiar, and I don't know. He just sings. Is his face? I don't know. Anyway, people say he talk a lot, and people think he flirts a lot. But he just talks so much. It seems like he's always flirting or whatever. He wants someone who is smart, strong, and funny, and who does not need him but wants him. And now he walks in. He does talk a lot. He really, really does. Okay, he does joke a lot, and I can say him coming in on the first day, first impression, first time meeting you, it was a lot. It was a lot of jokes and ha 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 ha, and like corny dad jokes or whatever. It's like he was trying to entertain her versus just chill out, bruh, and let's just talk. Like I don't need somebody where everything we talking about is like a punchline to it or whatever, or you trying to get me to laugh. Like it could be when he meets people, he's nervous, so he talks a lot. But I feel like you have to sometimes allow the talking to come natural, and some of it didn't feel natural. It felt not forced, but just not natural. I need him just to calm the hell down. Now he asked her what kind of man does she like, and she say, I like creative men, artsy men. Like I like actors, photographers, singers, stuff. I'm like, first of all, Vince is a photographer. I'm like, you like actors and photographers and singers. That's not even a type of person. You like a person by their job. That's how you meet some. I like wrestlers. I like moving people who move furniture, and I like people who paint. It's like no, bitch. That's not bitch. But I'm like, you describe jobs. Not even a type of person. Not even I like someone who's smart, who can hold a conversation, who knows what to like. I'm like, you actors, photographers, and singers. I'm like, you girl anyway. So they talking and whatnot. Now look, I feel like she was so caught up in thinking about Vince, she wasn't really even mentally there. Like she was laughing a little bit or whatever, and she wasn't rude or mean to him, but you can tell that she was fully holding back, thinking about, I have Vince at home. I can't have fun. I got Vince. Or she was concerned, like, is Vince on the date? What is Vince? Like you can tell she wasn't really, fully in the moment. And I'm like, girl, I don't like it. Or whatever. But it was not a bad date, but I can tell she's not going to want a second date, but only because she's fixated on her man. And I guess it's not a bad thing, but I'm like, I would at least liked it if she was open to the dates. And I don't think she was. So we then see Shay on a date with Preston. I feel like Preston is a player, mainly because he came in skinny jeans, he had on 2 chains or whatever, and he actually said, I'm looking for a baddie with a good energy. I'm like, a baddie? You looking for a baddie? What are you, 12? I'm like, if the 2 chains and the skinny jeans wasn't, I'm like, I'm looking for a baddie with good energy. He then said, I like pretty girls with good bodies, and I'm like, okay, he's completely like a superficial jerk or whatnot, and not like he's a bad person, but I'm looking for a baddie. How old are we? I'm looking for a baddie with good energy. I'm like, that's just a girl. Anyway, so he and Shay went bowling and whatnot. And he's a nice looking man, but again, 2 chains and skinny jeans looking for a baddie in Atlanta. Or they're in New Orleans. They even ground in one, I don't know. But my point is, I don't like him. So, she say he's my type, tall, handsome, and I'm like, girl, that explains half of America, but I want to leave that be too. So she brings up how at first I was only flirting because I want to make Michael jealous, but I realized I'm saying we have a whole vibe. I like, if you say so. They bold, did some trash talking or whatever. They have some chemistry, but I feel like it's because she thinks she a baddie. He looking for one. So he asked her like, okay, how is your heart? How is your heart? Because you in this relationship. How is your heart? She said, well, my heart, is with him. Okay, but I want to get engaged. I want to get married. I'm saying I'm not, I want to move forward. He's like, oh, but like, so you want to get married? She's like, yeah. She's like, oh, so he's the issue. She said, yeah. She's like, yeah, I'm perfect. I'm perfect and he's the issue. I was like, see, that whole I'm perfect thing, she not ready for marriage. Okay, she want to get married because she just wants to be married. She don't want a marriage. She just wants to be married. And I say that's like when people say, oh, I want to get married, but they just want a wedding. You know what I'm saying? You don't want, girl, no. You have the idea of what a marriage is, and you want that. No, I don't like it. Anyway, we then see Dr. Nicole goes by and sits to have a conversation with Ashley in Hollywood. Because they be, get into it and whatnot. And he brings up how he feel like when he do one thing, okay, it brings back their relationship back to the beginning of whatever, and it's as if anything he's done good or well over this time kind of just cancels itself out. He admits that he proposed to her initially because he did not want to lose her, because she kind of gave him an ultimatum. So he's like, I just said, let me propose because I don't want to lose her. He said, but he called it off. And when he did call the wedding off, he did it because he was at a point where he didn't even care about the outcome of what would happen from that. And I'm like, this is the pure, utter disrespect of saying, I'm going to propose to her, but I'm also going to break it off because I'm to a point where I need to be free. I ain't ready, and I don't care how that makes her feel. Okay, so I love how Dr. Cole is my new favorite person or whatever, because she said, you have to be clear in what you have created. You know what I'm saying? You have to get that in her world. You put the rug from up under her feet. So, you can't act as if you did something that didn't have any consequence, which you did have consequences to her. And even though you moved on, even though you feel like you're in a better place, what you did to her is taking a little bit longer. Okay. And I'm like, let him know. Now he say, because she said you have to own that. He said, but I do own it. She's like, no, you don't. You don't understand the impact that you, of what you did and how it continues to, be something from that and whatnot. And she tells Dr. Nicole that one, he, I guess, called off the wedding in front of everyone. Family. Oh, I'm like, you didn't even do it in private? Really? So for her, the reason she's still so hurt from that is because she's like, I feel like my engagement, my wedding dress, everything about getting married is tainted because of what he did. Because when I think of my dress, I think of what he did, of him leaving me. And so I just have all these feelings of, just not feeling, good and whatnot. And she also brings up how, even though, he say it was 2 years ago, so why do she keep, bring it up or whatever, how much longer will they have to keep harping on what he did 2 years ago? And, he said, and he never had the intent to make her feel how he feels. That don't matter. That's what Dr. Cole means by you have to own it. Even if that was not your intent, is what happened. You caused this. You have to own that shit, bruh. And she also brings up how she's angry because she know that she's better than being a person who's having to make someone see her and make someone love her how she deserves to be loved. And she brings like, I know I'm a good woman, so I feel like I should not have to prove I'm a good woman to him. Like, I should not have had to go through all of that. And then, she said, well, do you feel like you wish you can go back and say, I'm leaving, versus dealing with what he put you through? And she say, I don't know. Meaning, I stayed in it. And am I upset with myself for staying? And I'm like, I think you are. And they may have been just avoiding this type of conversation because, again, it's been 9 years. But girl, I would have been gone. Anyway, we then see Tamika and Vince at the house, chit-chatting and everything, chit-chatting or whatever. Now, she has already had her date, which she then tells him about. He's like, oh, okay, well, how did it go? And she's like, well, it felt weird because the whole time I was just worried about you. Like, I wasn't really, enjoying the day because I kept thinking about you and whatnot. And he said, well, I do kind of worry that you could really fall for someone that you're going to date with. And she agrees and said, like, well, I do feel like, that's my fear too, because there are plenty of women out here who would not give you all the, the hardship and the attitude or whatever. Not the attitude, but the hardness or the issue that I give you, they wouldn't do that. Or whatever. And she brings her real issue with them is that, it's not about if he on a date with somebody, what he doing. It's more of if you on a date with somebody, like, would you be honest about getting to know them, like, and what's happening, because again, they have this whole honor thing or whatever. We then hear knock, knock, knock on the door. And she was like, that better not be your date. I'm looking like, but that's the point of the show. And sure enough, it's his date, Jazzy. Hey, Jazzy. Jazzy, like, hey, you ready to go? And he was like, oh, yeah. So Tamika then stands up. It's like, hi, I'm his girlfriend. And she was like, oh, hey, girlfriend. I was like, bitch. It was how I was like, ooh, I would have been pissed. Anyway, because she like, okay, so am I coming in? Like, are we going to sit down and talk? And she was like, no. Y'all can leave, okay? And then, she's like, oh, so she has she's like, my first thought was she's pretty and has a nice body and she's going out with my man or whatever. So Jazzy then say, girl, you let your man go out on a date with me? And she was like, yeah. Girl, it was just so horrible because Tamika looked like she was smiling, but she wanted to snap. It's the picture that was in the beginning of my episode, of my review. She looked like she was gonna snap, okay, wholeheartedly and whatever. Oh, so you trust him? Okay, well, let's go. And Tamika just kept looking like, I want to kill him, but she's upset. But I'm looking like, but you already went on your date, okay? Then as they about to walk out, she's like, I just found out where you messed up that. And then she's like, you know what? Never mind. And I'm like, oh my God. And she about to start crying. I'm looking like, girl, don't cry in front of Jazz, okay? Do not cry. If you cry at any point, do not cry in front of the date chick. Don't do that. They leave, and Tamika sat on the couch crying. It brought up all these feelings of what happened when we was first dating. I'm like, and I get that. I fully get that he has pushed you in a place to where you question his motives and what he's gonna do. And if he be honest, and because he hurt you. But girl, put your big girl panties on and say fuck him, girl, and just let whatever happens. So it was a lot, but I'm gonna leave that be. And so we have to wait until next week to see what else happens. This was a good episode, okay? I'm gonna leave y'all with that. Gotta go.